Hi everyone and welcome to Lockdown Lessons. I'm here today with Stephen of AllGreen Gardening and Landscaping, who's based Milton of Campsie. Hi Stephen.
Hi Fiona.
How are things?
Busy.
So you run a local gardening company and the government has actually said that gardeners are one of the trades that they want to keep working at the moment.
Yeah, we're still allowed to keep trading just now, same as window cleaners and I think anybody that can keep social distancing. We just need to be really careful, wear masks, gloves, stuff like that.
Yeah. And I guess as well, it's for people's kind of well-being, isn't it? Making sure that gardens are tidy and that their windows are clear and they can see out them, because if people are isolating at home, they've got mental health issues at risk really as well with part of the lockdown, isn't there?
Yeah, well, it's the same as I've got a lot of old customers who can't actually do their own garden, and although people are isolating, a lot of people are still working from home, so they still obviously like the nice tidy gardens. So
Yeah, and they don't actually have any free time because their kids are off as well, so they're trying to work and manage the kids. No time for gardening.
Well, yeah, that's the same as my wife. She's trying to work from home, and that's why I've had to actually shorten my hours a little bit just to try and help out at home.
Try and help, yeah. It is a real struggle for people. But hopefully at the other side of this, employers are going to be a wee bit more flexible with people, you know, that have got childcare issues or that can work from home, and maybe we'll see a kind of change in the work-life balance for a lot of people.
Yeah, hopefully.
So one of the positives to come out of it anyway. So you are going to give us some hints and tips, your 5 top tips on maintaining a tidy garden during lockdown. Thanks very much. We're very grateful for this. So let's run through them just now. So number 1 is about the lawn. Is that right?
Yeah, if you could try and cut your lawn weekly, if not fortnightly.
Right.
Rather than letting it grow too long and it struggles. It'll also keep it nice and tidy, greener, and it'll keep the plant health up as well.
Right. Okay. Now, what about fertilising the lawn? You should really be giving it something, shouldn't you?
You be fertilising your lawn start end of the year, but obviously at this present time we can't maybe not get hold of fertiliser, so you could just leave the clippings on the lawn, and it will act as a natural fertiliser just now.
Right, okay, that's a good tip. And what about watering then? Because I mean, we've still got quite a lot of rain at the moment. When really should we be starting to water the grass?
Start seeing brown patches and stuff like that. If your grass growth starts going off, you can start then. Might need a wee bit of water. But some people like that. They don't want to be cutting the grass, so they might like the grass dry out.
Yeah. I remember somebody told me a long time ago that you should never water in the peak of the day, you know, when the sun's at its brightest. Is that true? Because I see a lot of people with sprinklers and a lot of businesses and things that have grassed areas and their sprinklers are going all the time.
Yeah, you should always try and water early morning or late at night.
Right. So it can actually scorch the grass if you do it when the sun's too hot.
It's just the grass will take the water better if you do it early morning or late at night.
Okay.
Dry straight away when it's going on during the day.
The next question's about stripes. How do you get those lovely stripes?
It's actually just go up and down the grass. The other ways, and up lies one way and the next way lies the other.
Right.
So as long as you just keep going up and down, the opposite.
Okay. Because I do say to my clients, if you've got a small kind of turfed area in the garden, to do it diagonally because it makes the grass actually look larger. And I'm glad you'd asked me exactly how you did it because I wasn't sure.
Next line, rather than going just standing and pulling it back and forward all the time.
Yeah. No, it looks really nice. So your next tip then is about weeding.
Yeah. Obviously, just when it's too wet, it's very hard to weed. But also just now, it's quite dry. The soil starts getting baked, and that makes it even harder to weed. So you need to try and time it right to weed, or even give your beds a wee sprinkle for maybe 10-15 minutes. Try and soften the soil up before you try and pull weeds out.
Okay, yeah, that's good. And you've got to try and get all of the root, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, some you're maybe better using a wee fork and digging on, trying to pull it out, rather than if you try and pull it out just out the soil, you'll end up just pulling the head off it, and the root's still there, and it'll just
back.
Yeah.
What about any tips for suppressing weeds then? I know that you can use things like bark, which might...
One that a lot of people use is stalch or strolch, it's called. It's
right.
like bark. That seems to work really well.
Okay.
As long as you just weed every week, do even a little and often, you should be fine with weeds, unless you've got a large.
Yeah, okay. But if you do leave it any longer than that, I know from experience, sometimes you can't even tell what's a weed and what's not.
You just need to plod through it. Or even weed killers, I wouldn't be putting weed killers in any flower beds or anything like that.
No.
In case you spray onto the grass, onto the surrounding plants, shrubs, stuff like that, you'll end up just making this in the weeds there.
Yeah, and it can affect wildlife down in the tree anyway, can't it?
Most weed killers take a good few hours to dry off before they can start harming. Before they don't animals as that as well.
Anything that is a natural weed killer?
I've always just used weed killers.
Putting you on the spot here, I'm just thinking there must be some sort of weeds that are maybe susceptible to a citrus or something like that. I don't know.
I know people use it just like water and just a bit of salt, but I don't know how well that actually works. That's
yeah, I've heard lots of stories of fairy liquid getting painted on leaves and all that kind of thing as well, but I think that's maybe more for aphids and little pests and things like that.
Well, they do I think a lot of people do that for the slugs and that, do they not?
Right, yeah, maybe that's what it is, yeah, because I know a lot of people now are kind of looking at more natural methods of keeping pests out their garden, aren't they?
Doing sprays now, we're trying to go, even fertilisers I'm putting down, I'm trying to do pet-friendly fertilisers.
Yes, yeah.
I know a lot of people, instead of power washing walls and stuff, now they use soft washes and stuff like that. It's better than using big power washers on walls and stuff.
Right,
okay. There are a lot of them. You can get pet-friendly ones round about ponds and stuff like
that. Brilliant. Okay. So what is your tip number 3?
Really, one of the things I do with the garden is I always like to blow the garden at the end. Get any dead grass, leaves, anything like that. I like to keep the garden nice and tidy, sharp as we call it, and just blow all the debris out. And even a brush, if you've not got a blower, just use a brush to tidy up.
Yeah.
Just look nice and neat, and you don't have any dead grass lying about at the end or anything like that.
Okay, and that's like the blower is like a reverse vacuum cleaner, isn't it?
You can get vacuums for gardens as well. They'll soak the leaves up and you just put them in the bin, but I would always go with a blower. A blower's better, more powerful.
Okay, brilliant. And number 4 then is about plant pots and baskets.
Yeah, really from about now onwards, when the frosts have stopped, we would start to put some bedding plants in, some bright colours in the garden. Just livens your garden up when you're looking out at it if you're in isolation. You want to see big, bright colours everywhere rather than sitting in the house looking out at just dirt, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So what kind of things could you be planting in there at the moment?
Just any really bedding plants you can get out of the B&Q and stuff like that, although B&Q's closed. So if you go to maybe contact some of your local garden centres, they might service stuff like that.
Yeah, I think Calder's they tried a delivery service, and I think they were maybe going to try and start it back up again. But probably there's a few kind of local independents that have got. It's a shame for them because they've probably got a lot of stock sitting there waiting for people to pick it up. Yeah,
I think a lot of people would have stockpiled some sort of plants just now, and then obviously right lockdown. Although you wouldn't start planting until the last frost through anyway, which is round about now. We'll not get any more frost.
So hopefully, even if we can't get the plants right now, by the time lockdown's coming to an end, it's still time enough to get them in the ground and get them established for the summer. Okay. So number 5, shrubs. Right, this is a big thing for me because pruning. I'm never sure when to cut them back, if it's the right time, the wrong time.
Usually, your roadies usually are starting to flower about now. Some do later in the year, but you need to make sure they've flowered and they've totally died off before you cut them back. Because if you
Right.
cut them too early, you're just going to not harm the plant, but you won't get flowers again for a couple of years until it starts to regenerate. So
Oh, really?
it's really good if you let it, make sure it's totally flowered before you give it a cutback. Then that produces a healthier plant as well by
Right.
pruning it.
So wait till the flowers have gone, and then you can prune it back to whatever size you want.
Yeah, if you just everything, pretty much everything will grow back if you hit it hard after it's flowered. Like the end of the year, you do your fuchsias, you can hit them pretty much back to scratch, and they'll grow up again. Say rhodies, they'll always come back anyway. Just be careful when you're cutting them. Make sure they have flowers totally, and then start them to even fall off, and that's when you know that it's time to maybe give them a little cut.
Okay, that's great. That's brilliant. Thanks very much. I've probably done some of my plants some damage then, pruning them at the long time. The thing that I can never figure out is the clematis, because there's a few different varieties and they've all to be chopped back before, well, at all different times of the year, haven't they? I think there's 3 different types.
Same with the hydrangeas. A lot of hydrangeas, some you need to leave till late winter, early spring. Some are, they're the mop heads, and the lace ones are early on. You just,
right.
If you're unsure of anything, there's apps now you can download onto your phone, take a picture, and it will pretty much tell you everything on the app, what you have to do.
Okay, so it's like a plant identifier app.
That's what it's called, yeah.
Brilliant, right?
And then you can always do the usual, just put it on Google after that and find out
a bit more about it.
Yep.
Okay, that's great. I'll do that after this. That's brilliant. Thanks very much. So you've done a really great job just keeping everybody going and helping out clients. You've been doing a lot of work for NHS, people working in the NHS in the front line, haven't you?
Yeah, we do, yeah. And elderly as well. But to say, we have got quite a large base now, Milton Campsie, Lennoxtown, Kirkintilloch, about as far as Falkirk now, and most of it's through Bearsden as well.
Right. Okay.
If anybody needs any help and can't get out in the garden or that, if you just give us a phone and we can try and help out as best as we can just now.
So I'll post your phone number below this, but what is your phone number, Stephen, just in case people want to jot it down?
079 844 04950.
And your Facebook page is at AllGreen Gardening and Landscaping.
Yep.
Okay. So if everybody could go along and give Stephen a like, please, because he's given up. He's very busy at the moment and he's given up a good bit of his time today to come along and help us with all these tips. And you've got a special offer running, although I appreciate you're extremely busy. You're going to be able to help somebody out, aren't you?
Yeah, somebody in the local area, if they need a help, just let me know and we can maybe do a wee discount for you.
Okay, that's so kind of you, Stephen. Thanks very much for coming on. I'm sure everybody really appreciates it. And again, everyone, if you could go along to Stephen's page, it's at AllGreen Landscaping, Gardening and Landscaping, sorry. I'll post it so that we've got it right below, and give him a like, because he is busy and he's given up his time.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Stephen. Enjoy the rest of your day.
No bother.
We'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.